everybody. Welcome back to another episode of I Live for This podcast. And right now, you're listening to Shontelle Sparkles and my bestie, partner in crime, mommy dearest.
Trinity the Tuck. Yes.
Yes. Well, thanks for being here. I know you're traveling a lot. So,
Yeah, we're about to travel together.
I know, but right now, we're working around each other's schedules. So, we're making it work.
We are.
Um, but
I feel like
yeah,
every week it gets better and better.
it does. And right now I'm opening the show. She's a grown woman. Um,
Yes.
yes, but with the beginning of this episode, we want to start this new game called Bestie. What did you call it?
Battle of the Besties.
Battle of the Besties. And so basically, what we're going to do is we're going to each ask each other three questions, and we're just going to see how much we know about each other, even though we're probably just going to fail them.
My questions this week are really good.
Good as in like hard.
Actually, I don't think they're that hard. I feel like last week's was harder.
Well, I feel like mine got a little harder.
Oh no. Oh no. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So, this is something that has haunted me for many years.
Oh gosh.
Haunted me.
Spelling?
It's giving Beyonce haunted. Not this, did you say spelling?
Yeah.
Shade. No, the question is, how many times have I auditioned for Drag Race?
Oh my gosh. Oh, how
Girl,
many seasons are there? There's going on 17. 17.
That's literally what it is. No, I'm just kidding. But the fact that your face, you were like, oh my God. Because it's literally that. You're like, damn, you've auditioned that many times. So
It's gotta be, I would say at least 12 times.
it's pretty close. I think it's like 10 or 11.
Yeah. I knew
So
there was a lot.
it's
Yeah.
pretty sad. But you know what? The thing about the audition tapes, and you probably know this because you auditioned a few times, is each time you do it, you learn a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, and it's not even really about if you do good at the auditions or not. It's really just about, at least, I mean, I'm not a casting director, so I have no idea exactly, but I can imagine that it's really about if your personality fits in with what they're looking for at that time. Also, they hit a very specific checkpoint of different types of queens. And if a bunch of queens that are just like your type of queen audition, they're only going to pick one of you.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing, is like, there's so many people auditioning. So it doesn't make you less than or not good enough. It just means, girl, they got to somebody else first.
Yeah. But my philosophy is like, we're all here doing the same thing. Someone had just, happened to get the opportunity.
I say that all the time. I always say, I use my platform wherever I go to, make sure people are supporting local queens. I've been a local queen far longer than a TV queen. Yeah. And, I'm not any better than any of these other girls. I just got lucky.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I've noticed about you since like you got casted on season 9, and even before, like you've never changed as a person. You've never let the fame. You've never
always been a bitch.
Always, she's always been a shady cunt to me. But you've also never like let the fame get to you. You've always kind of still given that small town girl energy, but still star quality.
I just don't like Divas. I just don't like it. I don't think like it accomplishes anything. I was just talking to Billy about this.
Yeah.
We were at the pool, and there was a Rue girl that was booked here. I'm not going to say names.
But tell us the name.
Was booked here at Play recently in Nashville.
Oh, I think I know who this is.
And they were just a diva. They were just a diva. Actually, she named 2. There was 2 back to back that were just.
You can't tell us anything? No hints?
No, I don't want to no, because
okay. I'll leave it.
Yeah, I don't want to make it awkward for her, but yeah, like, I mean, you can't be divas. Like, you can't, like, you're working at a gay bar, just like a local queen is working at the gay bar. You're booked.
Well, I feel like too,
you're not selling out arenas here. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not Beyonce.
My thing too is like, people will always remember how you made them feel.
They may not remember what you say to them, but they know
Or the good things that you did for them. They will always remember a bad thing that you made them
the
feel
bad
like.
things. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one thing you've always taught me.
You got to treat everybody, you know, and I understand people have bad nights, you know, you stuff, nobody knows what's really going on in your life. We get all of that. But
the thing is like when you're doing this, you signed up for this.
Yes.
You agreed to the
this
show.
Is the thing, is like one incident doesn't define you, but
no,
if
it don't.
the same thing keeps being said at different gigs, that will define you.
It's time to assess.
People will not book you after a while if you're just a big bitch.
Yeah.
So, well, my first question to you is, how many wins have I won on Drag Race? Total. I've been on 3 seasons.
I know you have like the most, right?
The most, yes. I have the most wins out of any Drag Race contestant ever on any franchise out there ever.
Girl, I'm about to be Jenna Ortega and pull out my phone while he's asking me what my favorite scary movie is.
You can't. You can't.
Pulling up Rotten Tomatoes. No. Girl. Okay. I'm just gonna throw a number out. 12.
Close. 11.
Okay. See, I remembered something. I knew it was like between probably 11 to 14.
Yeah, close.
Not bad.
We were both close, but no cigar. We both have lost this round.
My question is, how long have I been doing drag?
Oh,
because
wow.
you always talk about your history of doing when you started drag. Do you know my history?
I think you were. Oh wait, you. I don't know all your history. No, I
or just
know
like when I started.
Your first drag mother was what is her name? She's passed away now. She's a former Miss Gay US of A. I can't remember her name to save my life, but I can imagine her. She's a trans woman.
Yes, fierce woman.
Natasha something.
You got it, Natasha Richards.
Yeah. Yep.
She was.
She gave you the dust, and girl, I picked you up.
Girl, she went. Let me tell you, she was like, she only called me when she needed a ride to the gig, bitch.
Girl, hello. That's why you adopt children, honey. I've adopted many children to become backup dancers for me, honey.
Listen, I begged to be her drag daughter because you know Natasha Richards. Did you know her like when she did shows and stuff in Tampa?
Yeah, she was gorgeous. She was a diva.
Gorgeous, but she was a diva. She was a diva. Yeah, but she did teach me a lot. A girl I'll never forget. I know, bless her soul, rest in peace. But we have to spill some tea about what one of the worst situations that I ever had with her to this day was I was backstage getting ready for one of my numbers, and I was still a baby queen. And this was back in the day when they used to use the black hairspray to like blend your hairline.
Oh yeah.
Even when you'd wear a lace front, you still use black hairspray.
You always.
Yeah. So I was getting ready to use the black spray, and I guess I had sprayed it wrong. And she was like trying to be drag mom. She's like, "Come here, baby. No. Let me do this for you." So she snatched the can out of me, and she goes to spray it, and she sprays me right between the eyebrows.
Oh no,
girl!
Shade.
I was gagged.
What did you do?
Well, I was getting ready to go on. I had like one person right before me.
So you went out.
I flipped out. No, girl. I went over to my station and I started flipping out and trying to wipe it with baby wipes or something, makeup remover. Long story short, I went out looking like a turd.
Oh my god.
Girl, she got me right together. But I will tell you, she taught me how to get ready for a number like right before somebody.
Girl, that's crazy.
Yeah, but she gave me a lot of cute drag too. So there's a positive.
So to guesstimate your drag, you had started drag maybe a year or two before we met. So I'm going to say 2010.
Pretty close. I started dabbling in drag around when I was like able to go to the clubs, which I think was like 21.
Okay.
So what year was that?
But girl, I don't know. You're asking me to do math here. I failed that class. What are you talking about?
Girl, I dropped out of high school.
Girl, hello. So did I. And here we are.
But here we are. Yeah. Anyway, so That was
Traveled the
tea.
world doing
Got
drag.
that answer wrong, bitch.
Girl, I know. Okay, well, let's see if you get this one right.
Okay.
You you asked me this last week. I'm gonna ask you this week. What is my favorite color?
Um,
And unlike you, this is not a trick question.
I think you like.
I have two. So if
Do
you
you like
get
green?
I do like green. That is one of them. Yes. Do you know the other?
You like
I think it's a color you hate.
yellow.
No, I hate that color too. That's my boyfriend's favorite color though.
I hate it. Um, orange.
Nope. You get one more guess.
Oh my God. Okay. Purple.
Purple.
I like purple.
Then it wasn't you. Somebody told me recently that they hate purple.
It wasn't me.
I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Sam or Jules. Maybe it was Jules.
I think it was Jules because I remember hearing somebody say they hate
little
purple.
Bitch. Fucking little bitch.
You're a bitch,
well,
Jules.
I'm gonna give you that as a win because you got the first one. So
Okay.
you got that one right. Okay, what's your next question? Your last question.
What is my favorite movie?
Oh, your favorite movie. It's a horror movie.
Okay. I mean, I guess if we're talking genres, what's my favorite horror movie?
Oh, well, no. Then that's not it. What is your favorite all-time movie?
Yeah.
So it's not horror. Oh. Is it like I don't
Well,
know.
I have favorite movies for different genres. So you can give me one of those. That's fine.
Okay. Well, you can't make this up. You have to tell me if I get this right or not.
Okay.
Scream.
Nope.
What is your favorite horror movie?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, you did a promo of that. I should have known that.
Yeah,
Dang.
my favorite. Have you watched any of them?
Yeah.
So my favorite one is Dream Warriors.
Where they're falling, they're falling asleep and like isn't the girl that like gets up on the ceiling or something?
No, I think that's number 2 if I'm not mistaken. Dream Warriors. That one scared the shit out of me when Johnny Depp gets sucked into the waterbed and then blood spews out. I was so scared of fucking beds for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
My favorite though was is that one, but I also like Dream Warriors. That's the one where they have to go into their dreams and they become like superheroes basically with like badass powers and they start kicking ass and they have to fight Freddy.
It's been a while. I'd have to rewatch it, but
yeah, it's fierce.
We should like one of our podcasts. We should start doing those like the Freddy Krueger movies.
Oh, girl, get me on that. I'm ready.
Okay, well let's look into that. Well, I've gotten all of yours wrong.
Well, okay, well then what's my favorite like movie of all time? You should know this. I share it every day.
Hold on. Oh, girl, duh, The Little Mermaid.
Yes, period. So
duh.
you know it. You know me.
Okay.
You're such a good friend.
I know you based off of a second chance for the you gave me 4 questions.
It's very much when you're like, you would send me home? Well, yeah. No. You can't take it back. Well, I'm gonna have to save you, bitch.
You can't. So the last question for you is what is my middle name? My legal middle name.
This is just, I'm going off of what I always see your email. Is it Ashton?
It is Ashton.
Okay.
Girl, you have gotten all these questions right.
I guess I'm just a fan.
You're stupid. Oh gosh, I gotta make them harder next time. Ugh.
The only reason why I knew Ashton is because every time you'd have me send MP3s to you because you'd forget to like save them for your shows.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, Shontelle, can you send me that? And I'd be like, what's your email? You'd be like, AOL. I'm like, girl, not AOL.
Yeah, I've had that email since I was 14. It's actually my junk email. I don't check it or anything like that. Like I use it to sign up for stuff. It's now my junk email.
Yeah.
but yeah, like I've had that since I was 14. That was my AOL chat when we were talking last week about like the porn thing and all the internet and the dial-up. Yeah, yeah.
Gaggy.
Girl.
Showing your age yet again.
Yet again, bitch. Yet again. So let's go ahead and introduce our special guest this week, all the way from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 8, All Stars 8, a former Miss Continental.
Soon to be Mr. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, let's hope. Make some noise at home
Yes.
for Naysha Lopez. Hi.
Hola.
How's it
How
going?
are you? Good, good. How are you?
Good. I always love working with you, bitch. You look like you've been working out.
I know. I'm sitting here gagged.
Listen, I've been living at the gym.
We can tell. There. You look amazing.
Girl,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Shontelle,
yeah, getting ready for
wipe your mouth.
I know. I'm like, I'm about to get pregnant. Shit. I'm not even a bottom. Shit.
But don't be playing with Naysha. She can do it all, honey.
Yeah. Well, clearly.
And wear a wig.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest this week. We have some great topics. We want to just jump right into it. I don't know if you've been watching, maybe on TikTok or stuff like that, but Beyonce has recently sent a cease and desist letter to Trump because he used one of her songs for one of his rallies.
I love that she says sis.
She is not happy, honey.
She said cis and deceased. I was like, girl.
Is that not what it is?
No, it's cease and desist.
Cis and deceased?
Cease and desist, Mary.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, she's cis.
She said
and
cis.
he's going to be deceased if he keeps using her song.
If he keeps using it.
Well, girl, like what I find so interesting, and I'm loving watching the DNC. No surprise there that I'm definitely voting for Kamala, but the DNC is lit, girl. It is litty kitty.
Oh, it's so lit.
So many major celebrities have came out, which is not as common in the past that I can remember for a candidate ever. I mean, like it is. And
I think now is the time, though, and that's why they're doing it.
And if that doesn't say, I know Beyonce hasn't officially said who she's voting for, but girl, that is right there, like obvious and obvious.
Straight up, yeah.
Well, rumor has it she's supposed to be there today.
Let's see.
Rumor has it that she's supposed to be there today. Well, let's see. But supposedly, she's supposed to be there today, but we'll see.
Well, what I love about Beyonce is she has her country album, and like one of her songs is like leading in like one of the
Kamala's thing, right?
Yeah, I think it was like nominated for like country choice song of the year or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because most of the people that listen to all that are Republicans.
Right. But you know what's so not crazy is that she's from Texas. And I mean she grew up around this type of music. She's fucking country.
Well, girl, Black people invented the music.
Yeah.
Right.
Girl, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Tina Turner has her earlier work, she has a country album.
Oh, does
I didn't know that.
She does. Well, I know that because one of my best friends, Obscenity, Billy, is a huge Tina Turner fan and has every single album. And she has a country album.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Try to find it. I don't know if it's on Spotify or not. I've never really.
I love country music, so I'm gonna check it out.
But so very interesting there. Our next topic is something we can all chit chat about, especially you. I know you got some tea, Naysha. You are always spilling, honey. Bianca Del Rio throws shade at Nymphia over her phone fiasco at a meet and greet, saying nothing is that fucking important. What do we think about this? Like a queen being on her phone for meet and greets. Nymphia explained, first of all, Nymphia says she's not apologizing, that she was checking emails for work in between people meeting her. So what do y'all think about this? I have my thoughts for sure.
Yeah, let's start with Naysha and then work around the circle.
So I saw the video and I'm like, okay, how do I feel about this? And to be honest with you, it wasn't even the phone thing, because I'll tell you right now, I've been guilty of answering my phone or having to check something in the middle of a conversation or something's going on, but I immediately stop the conversation. I'm sorry, I have to take this. Ta 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 ta. Give me a sec and come back and engage again. It was I'm on the phone. Hello, back to the phone. It was very dismissive. Yeah. Now I get it that you were, doing the work thing, but I think she could have handled it better in the sense that she could have said, give me 1 second, don't move. I want to give you 100% of my attention. I just really have to answer this email. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. And hey, I'm back. Come 100%. On over here. Give me a hug. Hello, how are you? Let's take our photo, whatever the case.
Yeah.
Because
100.
You know how it is with our job. It never stops.
Right.
We're at one gig and and our agent is trying to tell us, hey, can you do this one or can you do that? And I need to know, did you sign this? You know what I mean? So I get it, but it just could have been handled differently.
I want you said it perfectly. I think that that's exactly it. I've met Nympia a couple of times. She's a sweet girl. I think I think if this was handled differently, I think people would have had more grace for her. Especially, Absolutely. It probably wouldn't have even been a thing if she did exactly what you said was, give me 1 moment. I want to give you all my attention. I have to respond.
I have to take this. Yeah.
And see, I probably wouldn't have even said that. I would have just been like, listen, you're working, put the fucking phone down and do what you're hired to do. Da, 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 da. Now, clearly, I mean, I only saw what I saw. There wasn't anything prior to that. But for me, if I was doing a meet and greet, I would put my phone down and I would just give my attention to not even just the person that's walking up to me, but the people around me. You know what I mean? Because it's a whole moment. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do. So
I think this is my thing. My take on this is not a shock because this comes from a lot of the girls that are new, that they not worked in the business long enough to understand business, to understand the value of a gig and like how hard you have to work to get there. A lot of queens, and this is no shade to her. I really like Nympia, but she was kind of, I don't think she's been doing drag that long.
Right.
And, she was put on a show, she won the show, and, she's got all this success. And this happens with a lot of girls is that
fast success.
I agree. It's, and two things. One thing is, I feel like these new girls take these things take their position for granted. And they're just like, oh, I made it. I got on. Everything's good. And they kind of take it for granted and don't really realize they can just go away in a split second.
Yeah, they think that once they got it, it's like smooth sailing.
That's it. And then another thing is, in Nymphia's, defense, not that night, but to her character, like we've had her at Roscoe's and she has done the show and has gone afterward, no meet and greet. This is her going downstairs, still in full drag. And it turns into a fucking meet and greet naturally. And she's having drinks and she's talking with fans and she's out there. You know what I mean? It's not where she was like bothered or she's just like, I don't even want to deal. She was so cool and she was so personable. So it was just like, when I heard about it, I was like, man, I really want to see this video though. And then I finally saw it and I'm like, okay, now I get it. But she really is a sweet girl. She really is.
I think, this is the thing. Maybe this was a fluke. And everybody, I was telling Shontelle this before, even a superstar has moments of where they're human, where they mess up, where no one's perfect. And
absolutely,
we all have our moments. And this is one of her moments, and I hope that she learns from that mistake and doesn't do that to fans in the future.
Yeah, the difference is it's like if you keep doing it, and it's like
absolutely
right.
Yeah.
One thing about Bianca, she don't play bitch. She will call anybody out, everybody out.
I love her though because she says the stuff that a lot of people are scared to say.
But you know what? I will say this about Bianca. Yeah. The fierce thing about Bianca is that because she's always been so cutthroat and so like she gets to be that way. Because if somebody else does it, they come for you right away. They're like, who the fuck do you think talking about? Oh, well, who are you, bitch? Like,
she's built that brand.
But she's built that brand where she can just cutthroat and just be that way. And they're like, yep, you know what? You're right. And they accept it. You know what I mean? Because she's a fucking insult comic. Of course she can say shit like that.
And not only that, but Bianca is beyond professional. She is always One thing about Bianca, she is 100% fans. She's 100% for fans.
Yeah.
She the best advice I ever got from her when I got off of when season 9 was airing was, no matter what, if you can help it, you need to take that picture. If somebody asks you for a picture, take the picture. Doesn't matter if you don't have on lashes. Doesn't matter if you are in a bad mood. Doesn't matter if you look bad. Take the picture, because how many people are really going to see that? But you're going to make that person's life.
Absolutely.
That's carried with me always. If I can help it, I always try to make time for pictures. There's been a few times here and there where I'm like rushing for a flight, or something happened where I could not take a picture. But if I can help it, I do.
Yeah. And the cool thing about Bianca too, which takes you take into consideration everything that she says, is because she's also nice as hell. Like I went on tour with her, and it was season 8, regular season, and she was touching girls up, fixing girls. Hey, come here, let me fix that for you. Let me do this for you. Like, as cutthroat as she is, she's also one of the sweetest people you'll actually meet. She probably don't even want you to know that about her. But
absolutely, we're ruining her reputation right now as we speak.
I love it.
Our next topic is disgraced gay former Congressman George Santos pleads guilty to fraud charges. Girl, this man, I think, is going to go to prison.
Oh, for sure.
I'll send her home.
First thing that came to mind was, why the fuck did it take so long?
Girl, I don't know. And the thing is if they're sending George Santos to prison, girl, they best make some room for Trump, honey.
That's what I'm saying, girl.
They can be bunk roommates, which I send them both, honey. They need to clean house. They need to get rid of these people.
Yeah,
we need we need these people in office more regulated. They need to do it to the Senate, the House. They need to do it to Congress. They need to do it to the Supreme Court. They need to do it to everybody. Clean house. Clean it. Yeah. We are the people. We need people in office that are really going to be doing their job, not there to make more money and not help.
And the thing that I feel like people don't understand, that I wish they would really take into consideration before they start talking. For example, we are in an election year. Yeah. I need the same energy next year, because we can't start doing all of this when we're just a couple of months away from electing one. And then we're talking about, well, I don't like Kamala and I don't like Trump, so I'm not voting. Like, and it's like, well, maybe we should have been a little bit more vocal about that before. Yeah. And we should be, do you get what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, what can you do now? What can you do now?
Well, I just don't like when people just complain. Girl, okay, what are you going to do about it?
And haven't voted.
If you're not happy with our options, what are you doing? Are you out there campaigning for a person that you believe in?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Because there's things that you could do.
I just had this conversation. My cousin was like, I'm not voting. I'm like, you're making it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mean, like, that is one of the most precious privileges as Americans we have, is our right to vote. And, you know, girl, if Trump wins, that might be out the window, honey. He is telling people you'll never have to vote again.
Well, again. Yeah.
Oh,
that's scary.
Scary.
Yeah.
So our next topic is, let me look at this. No, I don't want to do those. Oh, this Alex Trebek. It's a vintage picture of Alex Trebek. I'm going to show you.
Oh, we have to.
I don't know if this is real or not.
It's kind of giving AI.
If this is real, girl, Jesus Christ, help us. Because if I was back in that day, I would have
ate that ass, honey.
I would have been calling him daddy. Look at this. Can you see this?
Oh, no.
He's got nice legs.
Girl, if this is real.
Wait. I'm gagged.
The legs and the booty and the jockstrap.
He has the porn stash.
Girl, I can't believe, if that is Alex Trebek, if that's real, please Girl, I will have all the right answers, honey. Jeopardize me. Okay.
Is that the guy that does Jeopardy?
Yeah, the old host. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's since passed, but
Yeah. I didn't know. I wasn't sure, but he did pass.
He did. But in he will forever live on in our memory with this jockstrap trust.
So did this ever get released, or is this just something that's just been dug up?
Yeah, girl, this is like something that was dug up from a long time ago.
Oh my god.
It's supposedly a vintage picture of him.
Oh.
I mean, I live for it. I'm here for it.
I am very here for that. Is there any other like celebrities that you've never seen in those kind of positions? Like name one that you would want to see in that kind of picture.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know.
I want to see Henry Cavill just full ass naked.
Well, girl, who doesn't? But he has that one magazine cover that is like basically just everything.
That was not it. That wasn't real, was it?
The wet cover was real.
It was like porn.
It wasn't porn. It was
there's a Photoshop picture of him that's like on the front of a porn magazine.
We don't care about a Photoshop image.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Image. No, girl. Hold on. Let me pull up this list.
Yeah, I need to see.
Of Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill.
By the way, did y'all see Wolverine and Deadpool?
Yeah.
Oh my god, when Henry Cavill turned around, oh, my pussy just started vibrating.
All the cameos in that had me gagged.
It was gagged.
It was so good. It was so good.
Girl, where is this magazine cover? Hold on.
I wonder if he's gonna play Wolverine in the future, because they're playing with all the Henry Cavill.
Oh, Henry. Are they like starting to look for different ones?
I don't know, because like how they play with the timelines of like the multiverse.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're gonna continue what.
Rolling Stones.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It looks thick.
I think that's real.
But to me, honestly, it looks like he's all balls.
Girl, that's fine.
I mean, he looks like he's just like.
I love a big baked potato. Oh no, girl, it's got to be huge, girl. It's got to be. He's carrying around timber, sweetie. I mean, just call me
Superman for a reason.
Girl, call me Woody Woodpecker, honey. I am ready.
Just girthy, that one. Oh my god.
So mine would be that I would want to see in a jockstrap. What is the president of Canada?
Oh yeah,
Justin Trudeau.
Yes.
Girl, I don't know. There's something about him. I would want to see him in a jockstrap, honey.
You have to see. There's this video, a little compilation video of him like where they like show his ass and like compromising situations but it looks like really cute in his pants and everything. He's sexy. He's super sexy.
Take me to the north, sweetie.
He looks good in certain angles. I'm looking at him and I like him with certain pictures.
Yeah.
Girl. Yes, he's fine. Well, so what was yours, Naysha?
I don't know. Captain America's fierce. I like Captain America.
Chris, he's kind of bro douchey though.
You think he's bro douchey?
He's kind of.
Are you talking about the actor or the superhero?
No, the actor that plays.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he could be douchey.
He would be a good one. Chris Hemsworth, also Thor. Chris Hemsworth. Actually, any of the Hemsworth brothers.
Right.
They can spit on me. They can call me the F word, girl, and I will say thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to move on to our next topic, which is catching up with Naysha. Okay. So, Naysha, you have been on 2 different seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. Your original was season 8, and then All Stars 8. Which one was your favorite, and why was it your favorite?
I would say All Stars was. I enjoyed All Stars more. When I went into regular season, I knew Cynthia and I knew Kim. But going into All Stars, it's like I knew all of them. All of them have been through Roscoe's.
Yeah.
I've worked with all of them. So it just gave me a sense of comfort that you kind of need to be there to compete, because you're just so nervous. And like at least I was. Season 8, you have like Thorgy, Acid, Bob, who have such strong personalities and are like, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna get lost in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then in All Stars 8, it's like, bitch, I was one of those people that was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, because I felt that, you know? So I definitely had more fun on All Stars 8 because I was way more comfortable for sure.
I don't know if you know this. A lot of people don't know this. I think I was supposed to be cast on season 8.
Of regular or
of regular.
Oh, were you? Were.
So I was contacted by producers. This was the year that I won EOI. That I was contacted by producers to submit an audition tape.
Yeah.
And I was like, I absolutely can't. Like, I've already spent too much money for this pageant. They begged me, girl. They begged me to be put to put in a tape. And I couldn't. And so the next year I auditioned, I got cast.
Look at that. So
sickening.
For me, I think it was season 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. I got cast, and then I had that drama happen with another contestant that fucked me over. And then
what do you mean? Tell us.
This is the old story. You haven't heard this story before?
I haven't heard this story either.
Oh my God. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna tell you because you want to know. So anyone that does see it and is like, oh, I heard this already, fuck you, and just listen all over again. But okay, no. So what happened was I ended up getting cast, and then when I don't know if you remember back in the day in the earlier seasons with all the sponsors, like it was like Sequence Queens and what was it, Boob for Queens or something?
Yeah,
that was right. But there were like all these sponsors that would give like gifts and stuff like that. And so one of the things was like, hey, once you get cast, you cannot solicitate like products and say, I'm gonna be on Drag Race, so can you give me this? You can't tell that to businesses and be like, hey, I'm gonna be on Drag Race, can you sponsor me, you know, a bunch of clothes or, you know, whatever the case may be.
And this is they're saying before it airs.
Before you get on, like you can't go to vendors, before it even airs and before you go film, you can't go to like vendors or whoever and be like, hey, I'm gonna be on, give me some stuff, I'll wear your stuff, whatever. And then so they call me and they're like, hey, you have to go do your psych evaluation. So I go do the psych evaluation, but before I do, I called this one queen from season 1 from Chicago.
Bitch, I'm from Chicago.
What?
Bitch, I'm from Chicago.
No.
Oh wait, she wasn't season 1. Who was from Chicago? I'm gonna do some math.
Yeah. So I called this person and was like, hey, they called me to like talk to a psychiatrist. Like, what's this about? Like, they said I got to take this test and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, girl, you'll be fine. It's just this, it's just that, blah, blah, blah. I go, I take the test, whatever. Anyway, the next phone call, long story short, I get a call. They're like, who did you tell you were going to be on the show? I'm like, I told nobody. Nobody knows I'm going to be on the show. And they're like, well, we have some emails from our sponsors. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, that you've reached out to Boob for Queens and you're asking for a breastplate and you're asking for some this and some. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, I have not asked for anything. No one knows I'm going to be on the show. And they're like, well, we have these emails. So what happened was this person that I called pretended to be me, created a fake email, started emailing, breaking the rules, telling people I'm going to be on the show. I get kicked. They're like, we're not going to cast you. That's it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, so I'm like destroyed. I don't know what happened. Then I get a call from them. They're like, we did a little research. We noticed that this IP address from the second that we've communicated with you has been the same. The IP address to all the other emails is different. We don't think it's you. We want you to audition in the future, but we're just not going to have you this time around. And so I wasn't on. Then
I've never heard the story.
Me either.
Yeah. So I wasn't. And then this queen got drunk and used to work with my boyfriend at a bar. And my boyfriend at the time, they went to like an after hours at, you know, one of the other managers from that same bar. They all went to their house and they're all drinking, whatever. And this person starts bawling and it's like, I just love Naysha so much. I just want to be friends, but I know she hates me for, you know, what I did. And everybody's like, what did you do? And it's like, well, you know, the whole thing with Drag Race, and like confesses everything. And then he comes back home and it's like, did you know this? And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I didn't think that person would have done that. And so that was the whole thing from the first time that I got.
I've never, ever heard this. Now, are you and this queen on better terms now?
That was my question.
After that, because it was one of those things that it was like, where someone, they do something and then you're like,
oh, they fucked with your money.
And then you give them the benefit of the doubt and you're like, okay, let's move on, let's move past it. I'm not going to hold grudges. But it was after this that it was so many things and at so many different times in our lives that I was like, enough is enough. I am just going to remove myself from this equation. I don't need to speak to this person. I don't need to hang out with this person. If that person ever gets booked, I remove myself. Let her make the coin. I would never say, well, don't book her. No. Yeah. You booked her. That's okay. Let her come work. I'm going to remove myself from the situation because I don't want to be there. So that's where we're at. Like, I just don't fuck with that person. That's it, really.
That's crazy. I've never heard that story. That's wild.
So that was the first time. Second time, I won Continental and they called me and were like, hey, we want you to submit a tape. We'd love for you to be on. And I'm like, when's filming? And I had worked so hard to get Miss Europe Continental to happen. And it was going to be the European prelim. I was going for 15 days. Everyone was so excited for me to go. And I would have been filming during that time.
Yeah.
And so I asked Jim Flint, and Jim Flint's like, listen, if you want to go. I'll give you my blessings. You can go. But you're going to miss something that you've worked all year for. You were trying to get this prelim happen and you finally made it happen. And now you're going to go do something else if you're okay with that decision. And I said, you know what? Drag Race ain't going nowhere. So I told him, I'm like, listen, I just can't. I have to finish my reign. Let me finish my reign. And they're like, absolutely, audition, next year. And that's when I actually auditioned. And then I got.
Yeah, that's so fierce. Well, I love that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that those all happened to you. That's so fierce. You are about to do, well, not about to do, you already did it. It's about to air a huge opportunity for you, which is you're a leading role in a Prime series called Strange Love, which is premiering on, is it September 18th?
I believe it's September 18 on Prime. It'll be available on Amazon Prime,
And which I watched the preview and she is graphic.
Yeah, so
tell us about it.
In a nutshell, it's Latino. It's Sex in the City, but Latino and gay.
That's the vibe I was getting. I lived.
Now, so that's pretty much what it is. But it's I say this because I just rewatched it the other day, Sex in the City. But when you watch it now, there's just some things that didn't really age well, and some things that just weren't really realistic even for that age group. You know what I mean? Like the way money is spent, like on designer clothes and spending $500 on a pair of shoes and living in New York, all those things are not realistic. You know what it is, what it costs to live in fucking New York City, let alone buy a pair of $500 shoes. You know what I mean? I feel like Strange Love is a very realistic take on the queer Latino,
perspective
story, and dating life and ups, downs, all of that. I'm really excited because it's very there's just so many dimensions to it. You know what I mean? Like if there's one thing I'm going to use to describe it as a roller coaster.
What is your character like?
If I'm going to compare it to Sex in the City, I'm actually, I don't know if I'm giving anything away like this, but I would say that I'm Mr. Big.
Mr.
Oh,
Big. Which one's Mr. Big again?
Mr. Big is
Carrie's husband.
Carrie's husband.
The one that Carrie, and the one that
he couldn't be latched down for a long time.
Oh yes. Okay.
He was a player.
I would say I'm something like of that character. Like that's how I get.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say something like that.
How many episodes is this season?
I believe this one is 6 episodes. I think it's 6 episodes. I think it's 6.
That's great.
6 episodes, yeah.
And then did you audition for this, or did they actually contact you?
So it was things just happened out of like fate. Like I was at home and one of my friends was out in WeHo and was like, hey, you come hang out with us. Like, what are you doing? And I had just finished brunch and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not doing anything. And so I go meet him for brunch. And he was with these other friends, which I've met before. And as soon as I like walked in, Hector, the guy's friend, our mutual friend, Hector's like, hey, wait, aren't you like trying to break into acting? Like, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Da-da-da. He's like, I just finished talking to George about him looking for this guy. He wants a guy for this, the romantic interest for this other character. And he's like, I think you'd actually be perfect for it. Can I connect you guys? I'm like, absolutely. He connected me and George. We talked about it. And like 3 days later, he sent me the script. And like 3 days later, I was on set.
That
was
fierce.
It was
That's
like
crazy.
Oh, I hope this like blows up huge and continues, and you get
hope
to
so
do more.
Too.
And,
I hope so too.
That's just so fierce. It's so crazy how everything in our lives, even before Drag Race, like for queer people in pageant queens in general, and people, drag queens, everything has an ebb and flow, and eventually opens different doors. I mean, like Shontelle hasn't even been on Drag Race yet, and she's done some amazing stuff with her career. It's just crazy what things happen in life. But that brings me to our next topic. You are a former Miss Continental. I remember being there the year that you won. You won with your Latin ballroom talent, the 007, right?
Yes.
I remember that. It's so captivating. Everything was so captivating. I remember there was being so much hype behind you the year you won, because there hadn't been a quote unquote boy queen win in a long time, if ever. I don't remember if there was one, but it had been a long, I'm talking about like years and years and years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And when you won, it just was like a celebration, craziness. And what year did you win?
So I won 2013, and before me, I don't want to say the year because, and sorry, Michelle Dupree, because I'm messing up the year. I want to say possibly like 97, 98, something like that. But she was the last one that was a boy, for lack of better words, internet don't come for me. But who hadn't transitioned, and won. So it had been quite some time, but it's, I'm the type of person that when you tell me that I cannot do something, that literally is my motivation to be like, well, actually I can. You know what I mean? And so I was told time and time and again, you're like, girl, you're not trans, you don't have titties.
Oh, girl, you gave woman. You were woman, girl.
You still give woman.
Well, I don't know. Right now, you're giving total masculine energy.
Yes.
Great for what you're about to go do. Before we dive into that, do you have any intentions on doing any more drag pageants?
I don't want to say never, but Continental has always been like my thing. You know what I mean? I've always been in love with the system. I love it, the energy, just the stage, the people, everything about Continental. I have always just been mesmerized by, and I don't see myself really branching out and doing any other pageants, really. So, but you never know. You never know. Something might come up, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to do this or whatnot. But I do. I love pageantry, period. Gay US of A is a great system. Entertainer of the Year is an amazing fucking pageant. And the entertainment factor of EOI is so fierce. But I'm no shade to any other nationals, but I'm old school, and that's like my holy trinity is my EOI, Continental, Gay US of A. You know what I mean? Like that's just my like I love
I'm
those,
the same way.
you know what I mean? It's just those three for me. You know, Black America's fierce, Black Universe is fierce.
Black Universe
is so fierce. You know what it's the one thing that I feel like sometimes maybe other pageants are missing is that sense of fashion, that unapologetic sense of fashion, that it's like, this is what I'm gonna wear, get into it, live for it, and things that you're like, I would have never thought to do that. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Yet I see you and I'm living, and it looks so sickening. Like I don't know if and again, I don't want to mess up the system. But Giselle Barbie Royale, do you remember? And this is recently, within the last year, I believe, when she was like all jeweled or something.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
For sportswear, I think it was.
Yes.
And she came out and she was like kind of
like, like a bug.
Yeah, she's like hiding, and then she like pops out and she's like, jewel. And you're like, what the fuck? It was so sick.
You would have never, I mean, not saying that she would have never, but like, just as her, I just would have never expected her to cover her face like that and do something so avant-garde.
When you have someone whose face is stunning,
worth $1 billion.
And not only that, her body, she was covered.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But that's what's fierce about it. She's just like, she steps out of her comfort zone, and I love it.
I would love to see her on the show. Just
speaking of comfort, though.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead, Shontelle.
No, speaking of comfort, like, what's the next pageant that you're doing now?
Me?
Like, stepping out of your comfort zone. Are you doing any pageants?
I'm doing Mr. Continental.
Yeah.
So,
tell us.
The vanity part of me will tell you, I want to be that person that has won both the female and male division of a national title ever, because it's never happened in none of these national pageants, which is a really cool thing. But at the same time, there's a certain stigma that comes along with male pageantry, which is, you know, masculinity and, you know, ripped body, and you have to look a certain way and you have to act a certain way. And the reality is that you have to be yourself. That's really all you have to do. But, you know, I need to get a seat at the table, right?
Yeah.
And so this is me getting a seat at the table. I'm going to compete. I plan to win the pageant. And then I want to encourage as many people, artistic people that identify, male identifying, that want to do a pageant, whether they throw on a clear gloss and a liner, but they identify male, then you should be able to compete. And you shouldn't feel shamed about coming out with a tuxedo that whether, and this is just for lack of creativity right now, but whether it's pink or whether it's a wide length, you know, a wide leg, you know, high fashion or something.
Yeah.
But it's you should be able to do that. And you should be able to be scored accordingly. And if you're allowing feminine boys compete, then they should be allowed to win as well. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
and give them hope to win, because like people will always say, oh yeah, you can come.
Girl, go do it, girl.
And then they place like last. You know what I mean?
So, you know, there's certain things that I really, you know, that stigma that I really want to
challenge,
shut down. And I say this from within the house, because I am Continental, and I know the way that they are, and they have always told me to be Continental, you just got to be yourself. That's it. You know, there's a saying that people say, they'll watch a talent or they'll see a gown and they're like, oh, that's not very Continental. And you're like, you see, but that's where you're thinking a certain way. You're thinking that they are expecting things to be a certain type of way. Sasha Colby, when she won, her gown, if I show it to you on a hanger, you will walk right past it.
Yeah.
I know damn well that you will not be like, oh, work, let me see, I want to try that on. Now, when that bitch came out in it, and the way that she modeled it and sold it, and it was her. Yeah. And no other queen can wear that gown but her and sell it the way that she did. that's a winner right there. That's a motherfucking winner, you know?
Period.
So I really want to make sure that I do this contest, I win this contest, and I really put that at the forefront of this and really shatter that ceiling when it comes to that stigma, because it really is non-existent.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you.
I love that.
I mean, I hope that you do win. This is like your second time going.
Yeah, I did it in 2020 and I got first runner up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So we wish you luck. Our next topic about you is, so you used to live in Chicago and you were the host of the Roscoe's viewing show. You decided to move to LA and you're still the host and you fly back and forth. How is that? Like, how is that? You like, that's a lot of traveling for the show.
You know, shout out to Roscoe's, because Roscoe's is not just like a bar that I work at. You know, Roscoe's is family. So when I told them that I was moving, it wasn't like, oh, okay, well, good luck. We're sad to see you leave. You know, it was like, okay, well, how can we make this work? And we made it work. You know, they were willing to fly me in every week. For 1 year, we actually did every single franchise. So I was there from January through December. Like, I did the entire year because we did every franchise. And that was just, it was exhausting. It was a little bit too much. And then we took a step back. And so we now do regular season and we do all stars. So I'm usually there January through July or August. I fly back and forth. They're super, super generous with me. I have one of the best jobs in the world and I can't be more grateful.
Well, that's fierce. I love going to Roscoe's. I think it's such a great time. Me and Shontelle, I hosted an EOY preliminary there.
Yes,
yes, I finally got a prelim there. Sean is so sweet. Like,
amazing.
I messaged him and it was kind of like a shot in the dark. I was like, hey, because you know, as when you're rating, you kind of just use all the people you know, like or the people that you've met along your journey. So I was like, oh my God, who do I know in Chicago? And I was like, Sean. He was so nice. So I messaged him and he was very one of those people where like he didn't just shoot it down. He was curious. He was like, well, give me more information on it. And I sent it to him. And then later on, he messaged me. He's like, I'm curious. I think I want to do it. And then it just went from there. And I sent him all the information. I walked him through it. And it became a prelim. It was fierce.
I just love it because they're so supportive of drag, period. Like, they just love drag. Sean and everybody at Roscoe's is just absolutely incredible. They're so good to everyone. I'm grateful for them too, just for them, you know, giving me work, giving other girls work. They really try to include all the local queens. I just think it's amazing.
You know, Brendan and Sean have really created something pretty awesome there. I mean, there's 15, I think, or 16 girls on cast. And every single Friday, you know, we have our guests come in, and then you have your 3 hosts, and then, you know, we do the viewing party. Then afterward we have Friday Night Lights, and we have 15 gals perform. It is absolutely insane. But you know, Brendan and Sean have really just opened up doors. And I don't know anyone that they have, you know, closed the door to or anything. You know, they're always so welcoming. It's funny that you said that, Shontelle, because that's exactly how they are. I can be like, hey, what about this? And they're like, tell me more. Let's figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's such a good quality, you know, to have, because then it allows you to, you know, you want to work there. You want to be there, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Well, our last topic before we go is...
Well, I got one more thing to ask.
Oh, ask.
I don't know if you want to answer. We could always cut it out. But there's something that I saw online, and I was telling Trinity this. I watch YouTube sometimes, and like Roscoe's things will pop up. And there was something that was said online that it says that you said like something about a queen cashed money in for All Stars and then I guess didn't go. Is that true?
Yeah.
You don't have to say it. I'm curious.
I haven't really spoken about who the queen was, but that's how I got cast.
Okay.
Someone was cast, and then that person spent the stipends, but then kind of disappeared off the face of the earth for a while. Then they figured out, that she was not going to come. And so like last minute they were trying to find someone, like I know they called Vanjie, they called everyone. And everyone was like, absolutely not. 2 weeks? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Did they give you the stipend too?
I'm sorry?
Did they give you the stipend as well?
Oh yeah. They gave me the stipend. Yeah. And so they called me and were like, hey, quick question. All Stars, would you even be interested in doing that? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, there's no problem. Farron called me and I'm like, yeah, there's no problem if the opportunity presents itself. Now, mind you, I didn't know he was calling me to cast me. Like,
2 weeks. 2 weeks. No, you got the job.
Yeah, he's just asking me like,
you start tomorrow.
Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, sure, I don't mind. Like, fuck yeah, And that was on Monday, on my way like to the airport, and I'm on my way to the airport from Puerto Rico to Miami to LA. And when I'm in Miami, I have like 6 or 7 voicemails. And I'm like, what the gosh? And it's staring. He's like, call me back. So, girl, we got to send you the contract. Call me back. I'm like, whoa. What's going on? And then I call him and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, okay, so we're going to have you on. And it was just like, oh my God. Okay. It's like, you
leave tomorrow.
What was your experience like though? Like if you have 2 weeks, did you just have all your stuff like grabbed from your closet? How did you do it?
The first thing they did, like they sent me the list. They were like, here's the list, get on it. And so I called Jeffrey Kelly, Joshuan, and Monique. They're the only 3 that I work with. There's other people that make me like little things here, but like the 3
that's your team.
Yeah. And they kind of said, this is the list. Who wants what? Like, I have this idea for this. Does anybody have an idea for this? What do you think about this? And it was like, well, I'll take these. I'll take this. I'll take that. And that's how we figured it out. Like, and the thing was, when you're preparing for, and I'm sure you can, tell me if you agree, Trinity, but when you prepare for All Stars or any pageant or anything, you prepare with enough time that you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm not sure I like this, or maybe we do it this way, or maybe we go this way because I think this would be better. With this, I didn't have time for that. Whatever I decided on, that's what it had to be, because there was no time for anything. Yeah. Like, it was just like, that's the way it's going to be. So yeah, we got it together in 2-3 weeks, because there were a couple things that they just allowed them to kind of just send over on set.
Yeah. they had to, girl, they gave you time.
Yeah. It was
crazy.
That's fierce.
It's good to have a good circle of people too, that you could just rely on like that.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah.
To close out our podcast, we always do something called I Call Shade. And so we want you, and we'll go first, and that'll give you time to think, where you either tell us something shady that you did, something shady someone did to you, or something shady you saw done. And it could be this week or like sometime in the recent past. So, Shontelle, do you want to go, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So mine, and girl, I've been going through this for the past like 3 weeks. So I had a girl, I run a wig business. I don't know if you know Naysha, but I sell wigs through my website. I use Shopify, which is like a website that sells, and you can also host your website on there. Well, I've been in business for about 6 to 8 months and never really had any issues. Well, these people purchase on my website. And usually the way that Shopify works is like when you buy something, it'll tell you if there's like a light amount of fraud or heavy fraud. Well, when this person purchased the wigs, they spent about $1,200 per order. So over a span, there was almost $4,000 in orders. And they did it smart. They did it like through a couple weeks. And it did say high fraud. But for me, one of the person's emails was Suki with a good coochie. And do you know who that is?
No.
It sounds funny, but she's actually like a famous rapper and she's huge on Instagram. She has like 1 million something followers. So, and what's crazy is this is going to all make sense. My boyfriend had been talking to her on Instagram because she was like wanting to get like corsets and stuff made. So when this person bought it and her email was Suki with a good coochie, I was like, oh my God, I just sold hair to this rapper. And so we emailed her and she never responded. So what I did was I sent the wigs in good faith, just hoping that, you know, the wigs were going to get on her head and she was going to either wear it for a music video or something, you know, because like as designers, we're all hoping we're going to get our break and stuff, you know? So anyway, couple weeks pass and I get this little message from Shopify saying that the orders have been disputed and they're fraud. Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So the way that Shopify works, as soon as there is a dispute that happens, the money gets taken from the seller and put back into an account until they prove that the case is fraud or not. So you have to go back and forth. You wait like 75 days, submit information. What's crazy is I did not know who this person was. And I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know how to get this taken care of. So I'm like freaking out, depressed, because I'm like, who has $4,000 something just laying around to like pay for this? And, you know, because Shopify made it a negative balance. So they were like, you can't sell anything. And if you do, it's going towards this balance. So I wasn't making any money. And I do wigs for a living. So it was like really stressful. So I'm laying in bed, like crying and like freaking out because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I get this tag on this group called Drag Buyers Beware. And the girl posted as an anonymous saying Shontelle Sparkles, because I posted on Facebook and was like telling all my people that I was like, I got scammed. I got to figure this out. Well, she went on the Drag Buyers Beware and was like, Miss Shontelle, don't play the fucking victim, yada, yada, yada. I got these wigs. They are shit and everything. And she had like did a whole video of like all the 10 wigs that she had. And she zoomed into one of the wigs and she was like, this wig has hot glue in it and yada, yada. And I'm like, girl, that's how it holds the hair together. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't know how, if for me, hot glue is a part of drag. So like, if you can't fix that, then message me and I'll tell you how to fix it. But the fact that she went like to the internet and started dragging me and stuff and telling people that like it was bad service, and instead of messaging the seller directly to like figure it out, she decided to just keep the money and the wigs and think that that was okay. So
and you're not doing a very good clear job of describing the hot glue thing. It wasn't like just random hot glue.
No.
It was like internally into the wig. Like where you couldn't see it on the out, like the wigs were in perfect condition.
Yes, like I have videos to actually, because I screenshotted, I saved all the videos because I had to send it to Shopify for their case. And so it was crazy because she was like anonymous, and it got to a point where like the posts started getting all these people standing up for me because they were like, girl, you're literally keeping the wigs and you're not saying who you are. You're an anonymous person. This just looks like you're stealing from a small business. And so people started, you know, going on and on and on. And then the owners messaged me of Drag Buyers Beware, and they were like, listen, this sounds like a case of fraud. We're going to send you the person's name, but please don't get us involved. So they took a screenshot and screenshotted the person of the post. So then I took that and submitted it to Shopify. Girl, a lot. So
now then, I know that you paid off the amount.
So we had to. So my boyfriend, very sweet, love him so much. He did a big, huge corset sale on his website and sold all his corsets for cheap, made like almost $1,500. Then I did a huge sale on my website, sold enough money. Eventually, I wound up paying the amount off, but the girl bluntly said that she scammed me and that she used a VPN blocker, and she does this all the time, and I'm not going to get her. And then she was like threatening some of the people that were commenting on the post that she will stab them. Girl, it was crazy. And then people started coming out of the woodworks because I found out the person's name and I posted her name on social media, and everybody started coming out. They were like, by the way, Christina Azani Hunter, fuck you. She started saying, I mean, all the people started saying that like Christina Azani is like known for this. Like she changes her name, she'll move to different cities. She's threatened to stab somebody in a dressing room. She's stolen things. Like when I tell you, it was just story after
That's the
story.
ultimate I call shade, bitch.
Yeah. So I was struggling for the past like couple weeks trying to pay this money off, but we're back in business. Now I'm just trying to make some money. I call shade.
Oh, that's
Girl,
shady foods.
That is gag. Okay, so I'm gonna tell mine is not as exciting and it's not gonna be as long. So you know how on planes when you travel, people get impatient and stuff. Well, this was the other day. I think it was either coming back from or going to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I got upgraded to first class, and I'm towards the back of first class. Like I think it was like row 4 or 5 of first class. It was a big first class. There was a guy that was sitting closer to the pilot, and we deboard past first class, in between first class and comfort on Delta. Well, girl, as soon as they make the the ding, everybody gets up. Everybody's starting to get their bags. This man, he is 6'4", probably about 50 to 60 years old, 6'4", husky guy, bulldozes through everybody. I'm talking about like shoulder checks everybody.
Damn.
In first class all the way to get to leave. And so I'm like, I was not in the aisle, so I didn't get hit. But I as soon as like we were able to get out, I like get out and I'm like walking fast to see like maybe he was like gonna miss a flight or something. Girl, tell me why this man is out there and he's just standing there on his phone. He just was shoulder checking people just to be an asshole.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this man voted for Trump. Anyway, I call shade on that, honey. Absolutely craziness.
I'm surprised you didn't cuss him out.
Well, I didn't. It didn't affect me. I didn't get hit, but I mean, if he would have stayed there, I would have, But
yeah.
Do you have anything that's an I call shade moment?
Just because I just remembered from when Shontelle was telling her story. I ordered this one picture frame, and it's this frame, not a picture frame. What do you call the when you paint on them? They're called
a canvas.
A canvas.
Oh.
I ordered this canvas, right? And it's one of these canvases that says like established. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like, and it you can put whatever names on it. So I put like the date of when my boyfriend and I, got together, and it's this really cute, like really beautiful canvas, right? And I order it, and the canvas never came. And I would email them, and then they would send me these fake like tracking numbers. Yeah. And I mean, these tracking numbers were absolutely insane. Yeah. And then one email was like, oh, it's in Florida, and then it's heading to LA. One email said, oh, it's in Chicago, it's heading to LA. And then you're like, okay, you're full of shit, because these emails are within like an hour or two of each other. Now you're saying it's a whole other state. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is not true. And I'm like, this is obviously scam. Yeah. And I'm like, so then I got online and I started to look, and sure enough, it's all these people saying, don't order from here, don't order from here. I'm like, fuck. So I got mad, and I'm like, what do I do? But they were answering these emails. So there's like these people that would like actually, they're responding. Someone is responding, So I went and I was like, wait a minute. You know what? I sent them an email and I'm like, look, the jig is up. I know this is a scam. My boyfriend is a computer hacker. He will hack your entire system, and he will fuck your entire gig up that you have going on where you're making coin. So either send me my money back or give me my fucking canvas. In a week, I had my canvas.
Yes.
In a week, I had my canvas. I told them, all I did was say, listen, I just want my money or the fucking canvas. If
Why
not,
is it so hard to send the damn canvas to begin with?
What the fuck? And I'm telling you, in a week, it was like, I had it.
Girl, they got like 3 canvases in their whole business. They're probably.
I was like, what the? These shady motherfuckers. And all I said was that, my boyfriend's a hacker, and he's gonna hack your entire system, and he's gonna go ahead and stop your entire gig that you got going on making money. Now you're gonna make shit off anybody.
Yeah.
Bitch, they got scared. They said, wait a minute.
I call shade.
And sent me the fucking canvas. I thought it was so funny. My boyfriend's the only one that knows that story. I'm like, babe, you're a computer hacker now, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you got that canvas. Well, we've had so much fun. This has been a fun podcast. I hope that
I had a lot of fun
everybody has enjoyed. Thank you so much. Good luck on the pageant. And we hope to see you around soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you next time.